Hello, thank you for joining Georgia Hires, the Career Tune-Up. I'm Raven Lee. I'll be your host during this series where we explore why you aren't getting that promotion. This is episode 2, and in episode 1, we kind of talked about some of the obvious things that may be keeping you from getting promoted. So today we want to dig a little bit deeper and talk about some of those things that may not be as obvious. So number 2 on our list, and video number 2, is not knowing your boundaries. If you want to move into a leadership position, it's important that you understand your boundaries and you set clear boundaries for your coworkers and for yourself. And so we want to talk really briefly about how this may show up and keep you from getting a promotion. Number 1, you tell too much of your personal business at work. And we understand there's going to be some relationships that will allow you to share a little bit more than other relationships, but you got to know which ones are which and which ones require that you kind of hold back a little bit, because sometimes when you tell a little bit too much of your personal business, you can be a distraction and keep people from accomplishing the goals that they're there to accomplish. So find those relationships at work that allow you to be open and share who you are, but understand that not all of your relationships at work are going to warrant that type of openness. So be clear on which relationships are which and know when to hold back and with who you need to hold back with. Number 2, you discuss things with the wrong people. So if you're always letting the cat out the bag and telling things that the company might not be ready to share right now, then you may not know your boundaries, because sometimes you need to hold in information until the appointed time or the appropriate time to share it. And if you're always the one that's letting things out that shouldn't be out, then you need to review your boundaries and your understanding of the business, and make sure that when you get information that you understand who it can be distributed to and who you may not be able to distribute it to right away. So make sure that you understand the information that you're receiving and who's able to receive that information at that time. Number 3, you don't know when or how to say no. And I think the how to say no is just as important as when to say no. So you could be someone that's taken on too many projects. You just have so much that you've taken on that you're ineffective and you're not getting anything accomplished. Or you could be someone that's always saying, that's not my job. And if you find yourself saying that a lot, you may be viewed as someone that's not a team player. So make sure that you understand when to say no, but also how to say no, so that you're still maintaining those relationships and you're still showing that you do have the team's interest at heart. So sometimes saying no means that you have to dig a little deeper and find out who should be doing that task, why they should be doing that task, and not just shoving it off to somebody else and saying, hey, that's not my job. And it also means being able to say no to projects that don't fit within the scope of what you're supposed to be doing, and that you're not overfilling your plate. Because when you do that, you show that you don't have good judgment skills, and it also shows that you need a lot of supervision so that your manager can make sure that you're not overloading yourself. So show your value, add value, do all that you can within the scope of your job, but don't overdo it, and don't be someone that looks like you're not a team player by saying, that's not my job. So to recap really quickly, 3 tips on things that may be keeping you from getting a promotion because it shows that you don't quite know your boundaries. You tell too much of your personal business at work with your coworkers, and you don't understand the relationships and the type of relationships that you've created. Number 2, you discuss things that shouldn't be discussed, and you're letting the cat out of the bag far too many times. And number 3, you don't know how or when to say no. So make sure that you're checking yourself against what we've discussed today and making sure that you understand your boundaries, you're setting clear boundaries, and you're enforcing them. We look forward to you on the next episode where we dig a little deeper, even more, into why you may not be getting that promotion.